So so I gave the first assignment was on data cleaning, and the second was on data analysis. Now for the data analysis part, I gave like 4 questions on that. And actually earlier when I was talking about different types of data analysis that we have, I said we have the descriptive, we have the prescriptive, we have the diagnostic, and we have the predictive. So actually the question in that area of diagnostic analysis, descriptive analysis, and predictive analysis. So we don't really bring in much of prescriptive. I don't know, those people that really go through the questions, we understand major part of it. And also as we dive in, we are going to understand better. And for today's session, please, let's everybody will talking because I'm going to be asking us questions based on our assignments and what we think, and also how we like us to contribute more. Because why doing that better in these parts of data analysis? So the first one is the. Let me quickly open up the assignment so that we don't waste our time. So I have the assignment here. Here's the assignment question. Okay. So I have the question. I'm going to share my screen shortly. And, okay. Hope you can all hear me. Yeah. Thank you. So now, so this is our assignment. You know, okay. So these are the questions to the assignment for this week. And let me try and zoom out a bit. So the first one is on data cleaning. So actually, we talked about data cleaning the last time and how to clean data, different types of data cleaning issue that we can have. But for this particular one, I told you guys to clean up the star column, whereby I want a column where we're going to have stars and the rating for each audiobook. And you can see that the star column is not really clean. Everything is made together as a text. We have to extract the stars of individual audiobook and the ratings, the total ratings of individual audiobook, and separate in different columns. So that is the first question. So I'm going to be opening the data set now so that we can just start. Um, Now, this is the data set. That's what we worked with yesterday. So what we have to do for this week is just to actually clean up these star columns in the sense that they want the star to be in one column and the total number of ratings to be in the other column. And you can see 5 out of 5. I don't need the total star rating. What I need is the stars and the number of ratings. So for this one, now, it has five stars. And what is the total number of ratings? 34 ratings. This one has 4.5 stars. And what is the star? What is the total number of rating? 41 rating. So we wanted to like extract the star into one column and the total number of rating into the other column. So that's what we have to do for this. But before we clean the data set, when you try to like enable the filter option, enable the filter option just to like look through the data to see what we are working with. You can see there's something that is consistent in data. The stars and the total number of ratings are like merged together. You can see the stars and total number of ratings are merged together, while the other one stay out. So another thing is this: we have the blank. First of all, let me remove the blank thing from this data set. Or let me just filter out only the blank. Let's filter out the blank so that we can have so type in blank. So let's just delete this one because we don't want blank column. This flow. Yeah. So another thing, we have a particular column that shows not what's it called now? Not rated yet. So if a particular audiobook is not rated, it has like 0 rating and 0 stars. So not rated yet, we are going to change it to 0 rating. So that's what we're going to do. And what we can use for that is find and replace. So whenever you see not rated yet, replace it with 0 because there's no rating for it. So we're using find and replace to find um not rated yet. It's like rated yet. What should I? We should replace it with zero. So that's that. So if I replace all now, it's telling me that not rated yet. 9,189. Wait, this thing is not. Let me check the proportion of this. Which one did I say? No cancel. So I have to be sure. So that says it's 10,001. Okay. Wow, that means we have a lot of not rated yet here. That's so serious. So I'll replace that. So we have a lot of not rated yet. So in this kind of case now, when we have this kind of thing, do you think we can use, because the total number of rows that contains not rated yet is actually 9,000 out of 10,000. So that shows like there's a large amount of audiobook that is not rated. So it is in this case, when you are trying to consider the stars rating for your analysis, you have to consider it again, because when we have a lot of audiobook that is not rated, and almost like 80% of the audiobook are not rated, so it is the column cannot be used for further analysis for this kind of case. So that's one problem you have to notice. But still, let's go ahead and clean the data set. So to clean that now, what did I just do? Insert. So for the thing that I'm going to use text to column, like I said earlier, text to column. So what I want to do now is this. I want to extract this first star and the total number of rating that we have here. To do that, I just go to text to column under the data tab. So that's what we are using, text to column. Split it based on the delimited and its space. No, it's not fixed width, it's delimited. Then click on next. And the thing is space. So uncheck this one. So what I want to do now is like I want to extract this star, and I want to extract these ones, the stars that has the total number of rating. That's the first thing I want to extract now. So this one is
Sorry,
like in two.
I
Can you
can't
hear me?
see your screen, please.
Okay. Can everyone see my screen? Let me ask first whether I'm sharing.
Yes, I can
Yes,
see your. I can see.
Yes,
we
see your
can see
screen.
Uh,
your screen.
oh, sorry. Can you see it now, man? I
No.
think you have to check the settings. Everybody can see it. Like I don't think the issue is from my hand here.
Okay, let me check.
I think
Yeah.
you need to scroll the surface of where you have people there. I think you need to scroll it down. If you are using your phone, or I think so, you need to scroll it down for you to get a clear
Okay,
view.
okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so when I click on next now, so the next thing is like the delimiter of this particular thing is space. So I want to extract the four stars and the second one that contains the total number of rating. So other ones that I have here, I don't need them. So what I need to do is just click on next and skip the ones that I don't need. So for this one, I need it. I'm not going to skip it. For this out, I don't need I don't need it. Do not import. For this next one, I don't need it. Do not import. For this general this thing, I don't need it. Do not import. For this one, I need it. I can't use do not import for that one. For the last one, I don't need it. I'm just saying do not import. So if I click on finish now, so I have the total stars and I have the rating with the stars. So how do I extract this rating? So let me just put this in rating now. So how do I extract this rating out from all these things? We can do this one in two ways. You can either use what's it called? All these lefts and rights and everything, but left and right sef cannot work. Oh yeah, you can use text after maybe the first S. No, we have the first S and we have the last S. So you can use maybe text after the second S. That's one way to go about it. But the one I want to use is this text to column again. So I'm going to use text to column for to extract the numbers out. Click on text to column. So in this case now, I'm not going to use delimited because it's not delimited. There's no separator between the two of them. It's just fixed width. So I'm going to click on fixed width, click on next. So in this case now, there's something in this text column that you can do. You can determine where you want to like separate your data in text to column. So how do I do that? I will just drag this this 10 that you see, this 10 here now, there's a line there. I'll drag a ruler from there. I'll just drag that ruler here. You can see. I'll drag that ruler there. And you can see the way after the S. So if I drag the ruler there now, it's going to separate the data based on the ruler that I dragged here now. It's going to separate it based on the ruler that I dragged. So if I click next, now it's giving me rating. So I don't want this first one, this one that has the rating. So I'm going to click on it and select do not import. And the other one I want to import it, I just click on finish. So that's that. And I can just call this one is rating. So that's the first solution to the problem. I hope everyone like follow along. Is that clear? Yeah. I can see someone. Okay. Daniel.
Yeah. Good afternoon. So
Good afternoon.
how you got to the rating? You said
Yeah.
text to right. Then
Ex-
then you then there was a column that appeared, and that was delimited, right?
Yeah. No, you don't use the limiter. You know, there's also the limiter between the two of them. Like there's just it's meshed together. The stars and the numbers are meshed together as one. So there's no like probably a delimiter, something that separate them.
Okay.
You
So what
understand?
I'm talking about the rating. How you got the rating?
How I got the rating. That's what I'm trying to explain now. Let me go over. Let me show you something again. So
Okay, thank you.
Emira, do you have a question? Emira,
Yes, I was going to ask you to please repeat the process. I didn't get it
okay.
very well.
Okay. So this is
Thank
the
you.
process again. You're welcome. So this is the thing again. Let me just go back this. So you can see that there is no. Let me try and zoom so that we can see this thing very well. You can see that there is no separator or delimiter between the stars and the ratings, like the stars and the number of ratings that I want to extract those numbers. So I want to extract these numbers from everything here now, and there's no separator there. But there's a way you can extract this with the text to column function. So when I click on it now, I select text to column. So in this case, since there's no delimiter, I'm not going to select delimited. So I'm going to select fixed width because they all have fixed width. That's the thing. So the next one is just click on next after selecting the fixed width. Now, there is an option here in this fixed width whereby you can create your own where you want it, the column to separate on your own by dragging the ruler. So there's a ruler option whereby you can drag and separate your column on your own. You can separate it on a particular uh character or something like that. So in this case now, I want to separate it based on this S. You know, after the stars, that's when we have the rating. You understand that? So I want to separate it based on that. So I'm going to click on this 10. You can see this 10 that shows like 10, 20 now. So there's a ruler there. You can drag the ruler from there. If I hold on, click on it and drag, you can see there's a ruler showing like a vertical line now showing. So I'm going to drag it to where I want to separate the two of them. You can see, put it there from between the S and the numbers. So when I drag it there like that, text to column is going to separate this column based on that particular location. So it's going to separate them in two places based on the location I drop the ruler. So I click on next. Then I don't want to import the first one, which is the rating. So I select it and click do not import. So I only want to import the, what's it called now? The total number of ratings. So after that, I click on finish. Then voila, I get this. Do you get that now, Daniel? And
Yeah, I get that. Thank you very much.
you're welcome.
Yes, thank you.
And okay, all right, okay. So now let's go to the second one. So before I go to the pivot table, I really want to go to the go seek. Pivot table is actually more juicy. I really want to go to what's it called now? The go seek questions. So for the go seek now, let me go through that. So we said I am managing a conference at my office. That's a go signal. So this is what we want to do now. So I'm managing a conference at my office. My fixed costs are $15,000. Fixed costs are the cost that you use to buy some things. So I'm managing a conference in my office. The fixed costs are the cost of the things that you get, maybe chairs, speaker or anything like those. The things that you're going to be using there, those are fixed costs. Just like for example now, when you're starting up a company, one of the fixed costs that you incurred is the space that you got. Maybe the office or the office that you do is a fixed cost. Maybe the cost of generator and everything that it goes is also a fixed cost. You understand that? So those are mean by what a fixed cost. Those are costs that are incurred for a particular production period. So I must pay the 10 speakers 700 each, $700 each. So I'm looking to get 10 speakers to come and speak at that conference at my college, and I'm going to get speakers. 10 speakers is collecting 700 each, and the college union 300, and the college union 300 per conference participant for food. So they are going to collect 300 per conference participant for food and lodging. Now I'm charging each conference participant who is not also a speaker $900. Now in this case now, don't ask a question over the week. We need to clarify that you are not going to be paying the speakers, sorry, the speakers are not going to be paying. So if I'm setting up a conference now and I'm bringing in some speakers, they won't pay. They won't pay. So speakers are not going to be paying them, and still they are going to benefit from everything you are giving them. If I'm bringing in speakers, then I have to feed them, I have to lodge them. So those are the things I have to do. So participant for food and lodging, I am charging each conference participant who is not a speaker $900, which is the conference fee, their food and lodging. How many paid registrants needs to attend for me to break even? What I mean by about break even is this: that is the cost, your total cost, and your what's it called? Your total cost and your the difference between your total cost and your revenue. Like the cost and the revenue is what we mean by profit. So when you break even, the profit is equal to zero. That means your total cost is equal to your revenue. So that's what by break even. So you don't make any profit. So that's what by break. So he wants to know the total number of participants he has to get when each participant is paying $100 for him to break even. So for that now, let's just quickly go to that. So that question is that is what's the name of the question? Okay, I'm going to create a sheet for that. Sorry. So Excel sheet. Let me use the other one I have here. This is this one. So for the first one now, fixed cost, which is F. Let me try this one. This thing again. Fixed cost. I'm going to call it FC. Fixed cost is $15,000. Right. So now, let's say the total number of participants now that I'm looking for. Let me just say for these now, like participants, I don't have probably a particular number yet, so I won't go seek to find that for me. Let me just say, for example, now I have let me put a number here. Let's say I have 10. So the cost of food and lodging, that's we have what we called variable cost and fixed cost. You understand now? Now, so the cost of food and lodging is what we call variable cost. It's part of the cost that are incurred. Just like when you are setting up a company now and you are producing product A, the cost of getting all those your location and the plants for producing that product, sorry, the machine for producing that product, those are fixed cost. So the materials that you buy to produce that thing that your product A is what we call variable cost. And variable cost changes. For example, now that's when by variable it changes. But whether you are producing 10 product A or you are producing 5 product A, you still have to like buy the machine, you still have to like pay for the location you are using. So that one is fixed cost. Whether you produce or not, you have to pay for that one. But variable costs are the costs that you incurred during your production process. So if I'm producing 10 product A now, the variable cost I'm going to incur are the resources I'm going to buy to produce is going to be what for 10. So if I'm producing 20, it's going to be 20. So it changes depending on the number of product that you're producing. That's done by variable cost and fixed cost. And variable cost plus fixed cost is equal to total cost. You understand that? So when you are calculating your total cost in production or something like that, just like someone that is selling something, you have to get a shop. A shop is a fixed cost. And all these things that you buy that you are selling is like variable cost. So those are the two things. I hope you get that. Okay, Yusuf, I see your hands up.
Yes, I don't know where you are working from because the assignment I got here, and
Yeah.
from we're giving a Microsoft Word,
Yeah.
like layout and how we're going to work on the assignment.
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't know where you got this Microsoft Word right up here because I'm not
It's
seeing
it's part of the questions. Now, when I
this.
said
What I have here is different from what
you have,
yeah.
these are the food that I share for Milestone too. These are the files that are inside.
Yes, but I'm
You have my
surprised.
Milestone questions, Milestone two
Yeah,
questions. Do you have that?
yes. My
Open it.
my stupid question 2, right?
Yeah. Open it up. That's where you have the questions.
Yes, I know. But what I'm saying here is different from
Okay.
what's
I'm saying,
yes, that's
is
different.
do we all get different thing? Let me get that. Maybe I made a mistake. Is it different? Like everyone do
It's not different.
It's
it's
not
Mine is
different.
clear.
Not
It's not
different.
different.
the same thing.
It's the same thing. It's not different.
Am I seeing something else? Because what I'm seeing here
Okay.
on my Microsoft is totally different though. Because I know there's audible, fine art, hospital, makeup, milestone, 2 questions, right?
Yeah,
Um,
that's the file that open. That's the Microsoft Word file that contains these questions. If you,
I
if you
think
open that Milestone two questions, open it up. You will see this question inside. Okay. So now, because of our time, let's go ahead. Try open it up and see whether I can find the questions there. So now the cost of college union and for food and everything that is variable cost. Also, another variable cost is the cost of speakers. I have to pay my speakers and stuff like that. So variable cost one, it is 300. So how to calculate the variable cost one now? I'm going to calculate it in 2 places now. Insert.
okay,
Let me
I've got you. Thank you. Thank you. It's the same. Thank you.
oh,
Mm.
so variable cost two now. I'm gonna do that. So the first one is so 300 and the number of speakers I'm getting. Let me put speakers there. Insert. So speakers. So I'm getting 10 speakers. Here's me 10. So that's that now. So for the first one now, for the variable cost one is just the number of costs. So that would be, let's say the total number of students I'm getting, participants is, so for the first one is going to be this plus this, total cost, which is the participant plus the speaker, because I have to feed the participant and speaker. So I have to add everything together. So the addition of participant and speaker times the number of amount of food, which is 300. So that's the first one. So that's the variable cost one. So the variable cost two is this. I'm going to pay each speaker $700 for coming. So that would be 700. So equals to 700. Yeah, multiplied by 10 speakers. So that's that. So the total cost that I have here is this, like fixed cost, variable cost. These are the two things. Now, and my total revenue. Let me put my revenue here now. The revenue is now 900 times the total number of speakers. Now to calculate my profit now, or profits, whether I break even or not, let me just create profit here. It's gonna be the revenue minus the brackets. Let me just put the brackets is gonna be this plus this plus this. Hope you all get what I'm doing now. So I'm total revenue, I'm minusing the fixed cost and the first variable cost and the second variable cost. So at this part now, I'm running a loss. Yusuf, yeah, I'm with you.
Sorry, sir.
Okay.
Sorry. Please, can you please come again? I'm lost here, please.
So now, okay, so this is the thing now. I said we have fixed cost and we have variable cost. Those are the costs that I have to incur to set up my conference. You understand now? So the fixed cost is $15,000. Maybe the cost of getting the venue or something. That's the fixed cost, or cost of getting chairs and tables. Now we have the second variable cost. The second variable cost is the cost of paying for food and lodging and food money for all the participants and the speakers. So that's how I put it there now. So that's the first variable cost of paying for food and where they are going to stay. So that's the fixed cost. So second variable cost is the cost I'm paying to speakers. That is, every speaker has to take $700, and I'm bringing in 10 speakers. So this is the total cost. Now, if I had the variable cost, the two variable costs and the fixed cost together, all those things would be my total cost. Those are the costs I have to pay up. Now, the revenue is the total amount I'm making from it. Since each participant is paying $900, and I already have like 10 participants now, so 900 times 10. So the total revenue is going to be what? Let's say $9,000. Now to now check my profits, it's going to be revenue minus the cost. So the revenue is this under this B7, which is this, and I'm going to minus all the cost from it. This is the total cost, variable cost and fixed cost. So I already had them together. So B2, which is the fixed cost, plus variable cost 1 and variable cost 2. So everything together will be my total cost minus revenue. That will give me my profit. And from this now, this is the profit I'm getting. But what they want to do is this. What they want to achieve is that they want to break even. That is, he wants to break even. He wants to get zero profit. That is, he wants the total number of revenue that is getting to be equal to the number of cost. That's one by break even. To do that now, we can use GoSeek to do that. We come to what if analysis. Select GoSeek. Now, my set cell is a profit cell. So I'm going to select that is E8. That's my set cell. Now, the changing cell now, what cells am I to what value? So I want to get 0. That's the break even. So when your profit is equal to 0, that means you break even. Now, by changing what cell? Changing the number of participant cells. The amount I'm getting is fixed. You understand now? So what can really determine probably I'm going to break even or not is the number of participants I'm going to get. So that's what I'm going to put it there. Select number of participants. Now to break even now, what did I do here, guys? No, something is wrong. We don't get our formula right. No, something is wrong. 900 times B10. Yeah, should change now.
So I think when you were calculating your revenue, you calculated with speakers instead of participants. So you should
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
to the participant.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, that's where I made a mistake. I should have used participants instead of speaker. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, go stage. Okay, we have value. So that one will be 0. Then this one will be participants. So you click on that one. Yes. So for us to break even now, we have to get at least 42 participants. We have to get 42 participants for us to break even. So that is how to use GoSeek to solve the problem. Do we get that? Thank you so much for that thing, that correction. So hope we all get that for the GoSeek. Yeah. So thank you. Now,
I don't
so to
know
the
why I
next,
could not see your screen. No.
you cannot see my screen. I think that's maybe a network issue because I think everybody else can see the screen, right?
Please, I don't know what you selected that brought out this Go 6 status.
Both what? This part.
Yes, I don't know what you selected that brought it out.
So now you go to what if analysis under the data tab. You select the GoSeek. You understand? We have the GoSeek here. Now in the GoSeek, is the GoSeek taking some parameters. The
Yeah.
first parameter is the set cell.
Please, can you make
So
it more glaring for us? We are not seeing what it's just as if we are performing miracle or magic here. We don't know.
Okay, it's not. Can you all see my screen now? Is it bold enough now? I think I'm
Yes.
zooming. So I'm selecting GoSeek.
If,
Now
if
for
you
the
are using
GoSeek
a
now,
cell phone, if you are using a cell phone, turn your phone to landscape mode. You can view it bigger.
Thank you. Please, if it's cell phone, please turn it to landscape mode so that you can see, because I think this one is actually good enough. So the set cell for this one is the cells that contains the goal, which is the profit. That's what I want to like break even. So that would be cell E8. Now to what value? If I said I want to break even, the value of breaking even is 0, that means the profit will have to be 0. Now by changing what cell? By changing the number of participants, because the number of participants will determine whether I'm going to break even, because that's where I'm actually getting my revenue from. So I'm going to select the number of participants. That is that. So if I click OK, automatically GoSeek is going to give me the optimum number of participants I should get for me to break even. And that is what it's giving, approximately 42 participants. So if I get 42 participants to come to the conference, then I have to break even. But you know, as a guy that wants to make profits, I'll be looking more than this number. So that is GoSeek. Now let's go to the pivot table question.
Yes, I have a question.
Okay.
Yeah, please, how did you
Yeah, I'm with you.
calculate your variable cost one?
Variable cost one. Variable cost one is the cost of paying for their foods and lodging. You understand? You know, a student union is going to charge each participant $300 for food and lodging. You understand now?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have to pay for the speakers also, because I'm bringing 10 speakers. I have to pay for their food and lodging too. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Yeah, so adding the two numbers together times 300 will give us the first variable cost. All right. So that's the first one. Now let's go to pivot table, like pivot table questions. I feel like, and this one is going to be interactive because I'm going to ask us some of questions, how we attempt the question, what we think. So I said this pivot table question contains three types of analysis. Like I said, we have diagnostic analysis, we have prescriptive analysis, we have descriptive analysis, and we have predictive analysis. Now, majority of it is diagnostic. One of it is descriptive. Why one of it is still going towards what predictive. For this first one now, they said students at the School of Fine Arts apply to study either English or science. You have been assigned to determine whether the School of Fine Art discriminates against women. So in this case now, you have the time to determine, to find out. That's like kind of like a diagnostic. You are digging deep to find out why, whether it is this, whether it's that, why. So that's diagnostic analysis. In admitting students to the school of their choice, you are given the following data on the School of Fine Arts students. Female of male, that's the column that we have. We have major, whether English or science. We have admit, whether they are admitted or they are not admitted. So now put some but there. Assuming that women are as equally qualified for each major as men, does this data indicate that the college discriminates against women? Be sure you use all available information. Now, you see, when you're answering some questions, I'm very, very sure a lot of people have different opinion about these questions, and that is what is going to make it much more interesting. And this is what we like do probably when you're analyzing data in the office settings. You know, they give you data to analyze. You look at it. You know, the way we see things actually is different. But when we come together and just bring our thoughts together, that's when we now arrive at a particular answer. Okay, this is what it is. And me, I can see probably what I'm missing. Him can see what is missing, so we can arrive at a particular point. So that is the whole essence of data now. So and this thing also, you know, data also come with, you have to like a curious mind. You have to like dig deep and look at what you can check and everything like that. And you know, most of these things is intrinsic. Why some of them you have to like develop it and learn it in the job. So now for the first question, sorry, okay. I think we are using the Fine Art School. So they said we should determine whether they are discriminating against female students. That is to determine, because every one of them are equally qualified based on the questions. Like they are both qualified, assuming that women are as equally qualified for each major as men. Does this data discriminate that the college? Does this data indicate that the college discriminates against women? Discriminate in the sense that they tend to like favor men than women. So we want to find out now. So first of all, let's look at the now I'll just ask maybe a random question from a set of people that answer the question. based on your findings, which I've actually checked some, do you feel like the data discriminates, the school discriminates or not? Like generally now.
Yes, there's
No,
discrimination.
no, sir.
There's
No,
discrimination.
sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
No, sir.
There's no
No,
There's
discrimination.
sir.
no discrimination.
Okay. I like this. So now Mr. Akide said there's discrimination. Okay, thank you, sir. So Ian said there's no discrimination, right? And Paul also said there's no discrimination, and also someone, is it Sherry that said that?
Yes,
No,
yes, there's no discrimination, sir.
There's
there's
no
no
discrimination also.
there's no
There's no
discrimination.
discrimination.
Okay, I would like to run a poll, but let's just go to the question straight away. So now from this question now, first of all, I have to check what's the total number of students, total number of male and female like that they actually bring into school. So let's just use pivot table to answer this. The pivot table range, and yeah. So the first, let's look at the total number of male and female that the school admitted. You understand now? So bringing in now, yeah. So it is 100. So for this, I'm going to drag admins into column. So for the first one, out of 100 female that applied, 52 is admitted, while 48 is not admitted. That's the first one. And the second one is 47 is not admitted for the male, while 53 is admitted. Okay. Now, that's first question by one now. So from this question now, I might say, they are employing more male than female. So probably they are discriminated, but that can't really justify whether they are really discriminating or not. But you know, there's an assumption there is a both there that they are both equally qualified. You understand? It's not that probably maybe male is doing much more than female. They are both equally qualified. Now let's go to the major. So I want to break it down based on the major now to see, okay, how many students is employed for each major. So that is when I can actually now say probably they are discriminated or not based on my own opinion. This is my own opinion now. You know, we are analyzing data together. So the second one is now going to be like, okay, we drag okay, so okay. So the second one is going to be, so for this one is going to be major now. So admits. So let me just drag major to this side. Now, so I'm breaking down based on major and based on what admitted. So for the first major, which is English, out of 80 female students that applied, 32 is not admitted, while 48 is admitted. Out of those ones that apply for science, 20 admitted apply for science, 4 is admitted, 16 is not admitted. Now let's check to male. Out of 24 30 male that applied, 30 male that applied, 24 is admitted and 6 is not admitted. Out of the 70 that applied for science, 29 is admitted, 41 is not admitted. Now, I think to make this thing much more distinct, let's put it in proportion, like in percentage. So when we put it in percentage, we actually understand, like, get some things better. You understand that? So let's try and put in percentage. Let me just drag in another agenda here. Yeah. So for me now, let me just convert this one to percentage. So to convert it, you can convert to percentage here now. So to convert to percentage, you click on value field settings. I don't know whether I've made mention of that before. You click on value field settings. So I want to convert it to percentage now. And I go to show value as. You understand? Show value as. From the show value as, you click on the drop down arrow. Show as the percentage total of row percentage of row total. Percentage of row total. Let me see. Is it that one safe? Hold on a bit. Percentage of row total. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I think yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Now, okay. So for this now, out of the
Please, can
uh
you take that again?
okay. So to change it to percentage now, you come to value under the count that we have here. You come to the value field settings. You come to show value hats, and you come to under the show value as you click on the drop down under the no calculation and you select percentage of row total. Percentage of row total. That is what you select. Okay, so after that, just click and click OK. Did you get that?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome now. So yeah, we have for the first one, out of 100% like of female that applied, 52% is admitted, 48 is not admitted. Out of the 48, 52 that is admitted for English, out of the total of English, 60% of English student, female student is admitted, while 40 is not admitted for English. Why for the science, 20% is admitted, why it is not admitted. Now, if you check for the other one for English, 80 student is admitted for English. 80 student is admitted for English, while 20% is not admitted. For science, 41% is admitted, while 58 is not admitted. Now, looking at this data now from my own end, I can see there is a bit of little bit of discrimination there because they are both equally qualified. You understand now? They are both equally qualified. Let me bring this thing down and try to like put this one in numbers also. So let me put this one in numbers. Let's see. We have major here. Okay, now let's put that one in number. So expand this the hash. Now, for me now, I can say there is a discrimination there because these stats now tend to favor the male than the female. Because if you check the proportion of male admitted for the science, you can see that it is actually a bit of discriminated a bit. Because if I see out of the 100%, 58% is admitted, is not 58% is not admitted, while 41 is admitted. And if you check for the what's it called for the female now, we check for the female, 80% is not admitted, while 20% is admitted. And if you check the proportion also, the number of these things, you can see that this thing favors male more than female. And if you check the grand total of male too for if you check the grand total percentage for this one, for example, now for the male, 48% of the female in the all the major is not admitted, while 52 is admitted. And if you check for the male, 53% is admitted, while 47 is not admitted. So this thing tends to favor male than female. So in this case now, since they are both equally qualified, it is actually discriminated a bit. Do you agree with me? Okay, I think I'm going to have a lot of questions here. Okay, Emmanuel.
Okay, for me,
Yeah.
I feel like there's no discrimination because if you look at the sciences, the number of male that applied for sciences are more compared to
Yeah.
female. I think female they're about 20.
Yeah.
Okay, female for science they're about 30.
Yeah.
What am I sorry? What am I saying? They are 20, 16 plus 4, that's 20. And out of
Yes.
20, only 4 over 20 was taken into sciences. But for male, they had 41 no's to 29 yeses. So that's 29 plus 40, 41, that's 70. So out of 70 men, 29 got yes. Out of 20 ladies, 4 got yes. So there's still no discrimination. That's what I feel.
Okay. Zoma.
Okay, please, are you going to visualize this pivot table? Because I
Yeah.
think visuals will make it easier to determine which one is discriminated against.
Okay. All right. Do you think it's not going to make it easier? I don't get that question again. Sorry. Can you take that?
I think if you put it in a chart, it will make it easier to determine which one is discriminated against.
Yes. If we put it in a chart now, yeah, we can do that also. We can put it in a chart. But if you put it in a chart also, you will get what I'm seeing now. No, look at this part now. So don't look at the number now. Let's say, because you know the number might not really this thing. So if you check the proportion, like let's look at from the percentage perspective now, right? Out of the total for the male now, out of like 100% of male students that applied for everything, when you check everything together now, 52% is admitted, 48 is not admitted. This is just the breakdown of the one for English and math. And if you check the male, 53 is admitted and 47 is not admitted. I don't know whether you are getting my point from that end. I know a lot of people is looking based on these numbers, but sometimes you just have to go to the proportion to be able to like to get a better picture of what we're talking about. Although if I put this one in chat also, it's still going to show it based on this percentage thing. Am I the only one agreeing on this discriminating thing? Nobody's supporting me on this.
No, sir. Yes, sir. I'm actually seeing what you're saying, because going by the percentage from what we have here for the females, it's 40 and 80%, and then for
Yes.
the male, it's 20 and 58, which is far lesser than the
Yes.
which is not far lesser anyway. It's lesser than the male, which
Male.
means going by the percentage, there's some level of discrimination. If you go by the figures we're seeing, the 48 and the 52 and the
You might not.
47%, the grand figure, you might not really see it, but with the percentage, there's a little bit of discrimination.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Do anybody want to counter the points? I'll be going to the points. So that's my own, and that's why I said, data
I
thing.
still want to see it in a chat.
You still want to see in the chat? Yeah, we can do that in the chat, but let's quickly go over this thing before I talk in chat because of timing. Because I want us to talk about this thing. Yusuf, I think I see your hands up. We are still going to put it in chat. Yeah, Yusuf, please go ahead. Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, I think that's that. So that is okay. That is the first questions. That is how we bring it about, and that is how we get the answer based on the percentage. Although the discrimination is not actually that pronounced, but if you don't really look closely, you might not really see whether they are discriminating or not. And the fact that the reason why I said they are discriminating is that they put it there, they are both equally qualified. Do you understand that? That is a very big but there. They are both equally qualified. If they put it that probably they don't put that kind of thing, might say, maybe those ones are not qualified, that's where they are not picking them. So we can't really say whether they are discriminating or not. Okay, Mr. Akisde, sir.
Okay, thank you. I think the point to reiterate so that this is clear to everybody, because the next question is also very similar to this one now.
Yes.
I think the point to reiterate is the fact that we're not looking at the absolute numbers, but we're looking at the success rate of the applications. Even if you have 1,000 applications for men and you have only 100 for women, it's not about the absolute numbers. It's about how many eventually get admitted relative to those that applied. And that is where you now get that insight as to whether there's discrimination or not. So I just thought it's important to make that point so that people can understand this as well as the next question better.
Okay, thank you so much. I think that's just the answer to it. So don't look at it from the point of this absolute number. Look at it at the point of like, how many is like success rate. That's what we are checking now. And from the success rate now, we can see there's a bit of discrimination there. So that's that. Now let's look at the second question because of time. So that's an example of diagnostic analysis. You're trying to look at what really caused it. Now the second question says, you have been assigned to evaluate the quality of care given to heart attack patients at emergency room, that's of the hospital ER and Chicago Hope. For the last month, you are given the following patient data. Hospital, that's the data column 1. We have the risk category, high and low. High risk people are less likely to survive than low risk people. And patient outcome like live or die. Use this data to determine which hospital is doing better of caring for heart attack patients. Use all the data. Data is the farthest thing. Now, you can all agree with me that we can say heart attack is a very high risk problem. You understand now? So they just want to look, okay, which of these hospitals is actually doing very well. Use data to examine which hospital is doing better job for caring for heart attack. So now let's look at the data set together. So that's hospital data sets. Okay. Now, so based on our findings now, which hospital do we think is doing better? Is it ER or Chicago Hope? Or is it Chicago Hope?
For me,
Is
I
it
got ER.
you got ER? ER is doing better.
Yeah, for me too. Yeah, for
ER.
me too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's here.
higher percentage. Yeah, higher survival. What's it called, rate or something for high
Okay, that's
risk and low risk.
okay. ER. So let's look at it together. Okay. Let's go to pivot table. Um. So for this now, let's put the hospital. So we have the ER. So first of all, let's just check the total outcome for risk first. So they have one as 203 count of risk. Let me just put it as so high and low. So that's the first one. Let me just can see now. From this thing now, C CH is getting more of high risk patients. Let's look at that part because it's getting 203 and it's getting more of high risk patients, while ER is getting lower high risk patient compared to CH. Because if I try to bring this one based on percentage now, let's just break it based on percentage. Let's just look at the absolute figure. Let's just value tree settings show. Now, okay. So ER, now am I checking before? So uh, so ER is getting more of high risk patients. Wow, 80%. Sorry, 80% of patients that comes to ER are what high risk patients, while the CH is only 10%. So what are they doing? So that's the first one. Now the second one, let's look at it based on let me copy this one so that we can get another angle. So look at it. So for this now, let's also look at outcome. So I put outcome here. Okay. Let me put outcome here. So for this now, I break it down now. So we have the high risk and low risk. For the CH, out of the total number of high risk patient that they have, 20% die, while 8.8% survive. And for the other one, out of the low risk patient, they have 79%. Wait, what's this one giving me? No. It's giving based on parent total. That's what I want. 79, 91. No. Leave it down. Okay, sorry. I think to switch this thing here. Let me put this thing like this. Okay. Okay, yeah. I think this is actually better. So for Chicago Hope now, the out of the total number of Irish patients they have, so 31% of them died, and 68% of them survived. That's 68% success rate for CH for high risk, and for the low risk, 85% survived, while 40% died. For ER, out of the high risk, even though they have high number of high risk, 80% survive, and I know it's ER. I think it's glaring. It's ER. Abi, do you agree? It's ER. Yeah, it's ER.
Yes, yeah.
This one is straightforward. This one is actually very, very straightforward. You can see from it now. From here, they are getting more of like high risk patients, and still see the success rate is ER. ER is doing much more better than CH. So that's the thing for this one, and that's what we can get from this part. So, like, please let's get this point now. Like, Mr. Akitiri really like point out very, very good point. We should like take notes. So we shouldn't be looking this thing based on the probably the absolute figure. We should look based on their success rates. I think that's one of the things you have to check probably when you're analyzing data sets. So don't check the absolute number, maybe number of this, number of that. So it's very, very, very important. Another thing is let's check our third question. Okay. Ty, do you have a question?
Yes, please. Can you go back? I was lost. My internet is just went. I don't know.
So now we want to, based on the questions that is being asked now, let me just quickly go by. They said you have been assigned to evaluate the quality of care given to heart attack patients at emergency room and Chicago O. For the last month, you are giving the following patient data. So
Okay.
these are the variables that are given the hospital, the risk category, whether it's high or low. That's high risk patient and low risk patient. Then we have the patient outcome, whether the patient live or die. So we want to use the data to like answer the questions to know which hospital is doing a better job for caring for heart attack patients. And heart attack patients are high risk patients. So which hospital is doing best in terms of high risk handling high risk patients? That's what we wanted to like determine with these questions. Now. So now from this now, already look at it. We notice that this is the question. Sorry, that's not that one. So we notice that ER is getting more high risk patients than CH. That's first thing. And if you check the success rates, out of the total number of high risk patients taken to CH, only 68% survived. The other 31% died. So out of the total number of high risk patients supplied to ER, 80% survived. It's only 20% that died. So checking the success rate to ER is doing better than Chicago rate in handling heart attack patients because they handle high risk patients very, very well. So that is that one. So now, before let's just quickly look at the second to the last question because of time and every other thing. So for the last part, they said you are giving the monthly level of the Dow Jones Index for the year 1947 to 1992. Does this data indicate any unusual seasonal pattern in stock returns? Now we are trying to like look at patterns now, you know, and the reason why this question tends to move in terms of like prediction. So, example, now you know when we are making prediction, we tend to check patterns in data sets. So it is patterns that we need to like determine the prediction, like trends. It can be seasonal pattern, it can be cyclical pattern. We have cyclical, we have seasonal, we have trends, and we have residual. That one is like natural. Like that one is not controlled by anything. So we have to check the patterns of our data to see whether there is actually a pattern. For example, now let's say I'm checking the data of a supermarket now. I want to know whether there's a pattern. So I'm going to collect data for like maybe like 20 years ago. Check if there's a pattern in the data set that is maybe for a particular period of time, they tend to have high sales than the other. For a particular period of time, they have low sales than the other. So if I'm doing my prediction, that will give me some insights as to what to put in. Like, okay, for this time, let's just project this one. Let's just project this one. So this is actually a predictive model. So now the question now is like, we want to check that now. So we can check that in two ways, actually. I can use a line chart to give me the trend. So I can use the line chart to give me the trends, or I can find the average. What is the average for each period? So I'm going to check the pattern based on month, because they say monthly pattern now. So I'm going to check the average for each month. That also works. So the first one to do for this now, let's just open up the data set. And that is physics. So someone asked a question for the first one. So since this one is not really the first one, you can delete it. So that's a form of cleaning of data. Since you don't really have figure for that, you can just delete it. And so they already extract the months here now. They already extract the month. So I might want to like use the month and use since you select this now, insert pivot table. Oh, let me use pivot chart first. I'm using pivot chart first. Let me use pivot chart. Now for this type of thing now, I can put the closing something here. No, sorry. Which one is the closing and return set? Little. Closing DC. We have the month. So I'm going to put the month here. So sorry. It's the minutes. Okay. So let me drag in the month here. You can see this thing as break it down to like I said, when you drag in a date, you break it down to like month here and this thing. So I drag in the return here. You can see the return from this part now. Now for this case now, I'm not looking for what's it called? I'm not looking for quarter. You understand now? I'm going to remove quarter from it. So I'm looking for month. So I want to see this thing based on month. And if I check the trend, I'm already seeing my answer already. So let me convert this one to average. Let me use some. But if I use some might be biased. So let's use average. Just average probably the returns for each month. So that will give us the whole fluctuation thing. So let's just find the average. So based on the average, let me change this into line chart so that we can see. So we can come to design here and change this one to line chart. So if we don't want to put it here, let's just change to line chart. Please, is anyone seeing pattern here? And is there a seasonal pattern here from this data set? This is average.
In the months of September and October, I guess there are negative values.
Okay.
They didn't have any stock remaining or something.
The month of October. So what other thing can you print out? Anyone?
Yes, I
Adiola.
realized that from June there's downtime.
Okay, from June. Yeah.
Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
From June there's a downtime in June, but it rises
Okay.
up to by August, July and August. It
It
rised
rise
up
up.
a little and fell again by October.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Any other person wants to
So
go?
I think the fluctuation actually started from May.
For me. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So anybody wants to
Because
anybody else?
April
Thank you.
was a good sales.
April was a good sales. Okay. All right. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you so much for that. So Adiola.
Okay, mine is a question because from the beginning you deleted the first row, and in the question it says that that the years are from 1947 to 1992. Now, if you delete the first row, that is not altering the data already, because if the
Okay.
data set you gave is until 1993 January.
Yeah.
So now if you remove the first row, that means it might seem like a complete year, but it's not starting from 1947 again, I guess. So
Okay.
I think that because I had that confusion when I was working with mine, that do I need to delete, because if I delete it will alter the entire data set.
Okay. So the first row is just like 1st of January, like January 4th, 1947 data. Like January. Just January data set alone. Not like probably I deleted 47 data, like the whole 1947 data was that thing. So I only deleted January. So
Okay,
yeah.
so maybe the question should have been, is it okay to replace with a 0 instead of taking out the entire row?
Now it's
The
okay
missing.
it's okay to replace with the main value for January. Like you are going to find the mean value for January. You can replace that. You can't replace with 0. But you can find the mean value of all the January sales and replace it with it. That one is okay.
The
Because I only
mean. Okay.
the mean for all the January. So I only deleted the January value for 1947. So if I'm going to replace it for that, so I have to look something that is like in that way. And I'm going to find out the average of all the January sales for all the years and replace it with that. That one can work.
Okay.
Zero cannot get it. Now, your question that you're asking, I'm still going to answer that, whether it's going to affect my distance. It's a very good question, though. Very, very good question. I'm still going to answer that. So, anybody wants to go, anyone else wants to contribute to this and see, is there a seasonal or seasonality effect on the data set? Seasonality effect on the data set? Because based on the question, let's look at it again. It said, they're giving.
I want to ask a question.
Okay.
But not on this particular one.
Okay. Okay.
The question I want to ask is.
Yeah.
Okay, the question I want to ask is, under the filter, column, row, and value, it didn't really tell us why and where we need to place each one, at least for a beginner, and the reason why we are placing these on filter, why we are placing these on column. I don't know if you have done that.
You mean on
your
pivot
previous videos.
In pivot,
Yes.
on pivot, yeah,
Yes.
we've done that. If you check out the videos,
On
we've done that.
pivoting. Okay. That means I'll go and watch it. Okay, let me allow you.
Welcome. So now, for me now, for the question that Adela asked, now, when I remove the first value for January, you said it might really affect the results because check the other one. That is why I change it to average. I'm not looking at the total sum of total for January now. I'm finding the average. So when you are averaging things out now, it is only the numbers that affect. For example, now let's say I have 4 February, 4 March, 4 April, and 3 January. So it's going to find the average based on the 3 January I have, like find the sum of it together and divide it by 3. So when you are averaging it out, actually going to cancel the effect of like probably you remove a particular data or not. Do you get that? So that is that. And one thing I noticed about this thing is that you see this, I noticed like there's a kind of like a pattern here from this. This January sales is actually so high. Don't you like you don't notice that this January sales is so high? Like there is more returns in January than any other month, and it doesn't really. If you see any other month does not really meet up with it, it just keep going like that. Like there's always return, and for this now there's a fluctuation in like probably the first quarter, and fluctuation in the second quarter. The third quarter it tends to like pick up back. So for the first quarter, after the first quarter it dropped, second quarter it dropped, and the third quarter is like it picks up back. So there's a fluctuation giving the data from 1947. Giving the data from 1947 to what's it called now? 1947 to 1992. And we are still having this kind of pattern now. So I would say there's a fluctuation that's giving the average of everything. There's a seasonal pattern there. And there's more sales, there's more return in January than any other month. And the return in January is quite high. Like if you check it, it's quite high compared to every other month. So that is my listing. Any other listing. So when you are actually predicting or try to like predicting, I want to give preference to January. That okay, you notice that there's high sales in January and probably you wanted to like trade more in January to get high returns. So that is the part. Now, before I go to and that's the predictive part I talk about now. So before I go to the last questions, because of my listing now. So I come across something on LinkedIn. That was yesterday. Is it yesterday or the day before yesterday? Someone was asking, can we use data to solve the problem of fuel scarcity in Nigeria? Do you think you can use data to solve the problem of fuel scarcity in Nigeria? Everybody, this is a question for all of us.
Sorry,
Yes,
can
yeah,
you
you
have the
use your
data to work with?
Yeah.
Okay. I said, do you think you can use data to solve the problem of fuel scarcity in Nigeria?
Yes, we can.
Yes,
you can.
Yes.
yes.
We
If
can.
you have, yes, if you have the data to work with.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Aki today.
Very interesting question. There are a lot of things that defy logic in this our country. I'm sure we all know.
Yes, so that's
in an ideal society, yes, but given the different variables that get into the mix in Nigeria, some of which are not even documented, it will be a huge challenge. Sorry, okay, go ahead, please.
No. So the thing is this: when I saw the question, I actually laughed. I laughed like I was just like rolling on the floor. Because the thing is this, like what you said now, a lot of factors that contribute to the first cast in Nigeria is beyond like control of like human being. No, you can use data to solve something that is probably within like general thing that we can use like is within our control or something like in an environment whereby everything is, I don't want to say we're regulated. We are very regulated in Nigeria, so we're structured. We can use both Nigeria. Okay. But you want to say something, so like go ahead.
So two things. I think you've addressed the first one. I actually wanted to point out that seasonal pattern, but I think you've already done a much better job of even doing that. The January to January to Q3 fluctuation, and then it picks up again from Q4 back to Q1 and other. I just wanted to quickly show how you pulled up that chart. Was it just from the normal place where you pick up charts, or is there a particular place where you do charts for pivot tables? I missed that point.
Okay, yes, so now for this part now, we use pivot charts. So the reason why I like to use pivot chart because it's actually dynamic. You can adjust it in the way you want. So to do that part now, it's just you have to select your data now. So in this case, no normal chart you are selecting. You are selecting pivot chart. You understand? Under the pivot, you see pivot chart option. So that's where you pick. And select pivot chart. You click on it. So when you get pivot chart, by default, what you get from pivot chart is actually a bar chart. That is default chart that you get. So that's good. So you can now change it from bar chart to you change it from bar chart to let me put this one there, returns. From bar chart to design, and you change it to line chart from change of chart type and that. So now you're welcome, sir. So everyone, back to the question. I feel like in an ideal country whereby everything is well regulated and everything, we can use data to solve it. Data to, before you can bring in data to, there's an assumption we assume in data that all things is equal. So it's everything equal in Nigeria. Like that's the thing we have to check, because a lot of things factor into this thing. Okay, do you want to say something? Yes, me.
I must be honest, this is a very interesting question when it comes to solving Nigerian fuel scarcity.
Okay.
There are many factors that contribute to fuel scarcity. You talk about the players. the players. You talk about the monetary policy, fiscal policy, and then political figures involved. Interest, personal interest, and both seen and unseen, and many other variables. But then, if to some extent it will not be able to solve it completely, but to some extent we can be able to predict the outcome and when it will happen, because the change in fiscal and monetary policy have direct impact on fuel scarcity. So if you can control that to a great extent, we can make policy that can change the scarcity. So and then monetary policy as per the area of exchange rate and all that. So we are importing the product. So if the monetary policy, those in the CBN can also make a policy to balance the naira and the dollar exchange rate, that will also help us to predict. Predict if policy goes in favor of naira, look at the likely outcome of fuel availability, and if it goes against naira, and that is that. The same thing akin to fiscal policy, which is the political figures. So that's, to some extent, it will be able to predict the outcome of fuel scarcity in Nigeria.
Thank you for that insight. Thank you so much. I love that. Yeah, please, do anybody wants to go again before we take our last question? Because we have to learn from other things, not only data that we have to do everything. We have to learn from everywhere, because everything adds up together. Do anybody wants to chip in any other thing as you got that? What are the data? What data should we be looking at? You wanted to solve that problem. So what data should we be looking at collecting? If I want to solve that problem now, what type of data am I going to collect? Okay, Mr. Yusuf. I'm sorry. I say Mr. Sorry.
Just like the previous person that spoke, he has summed it all up. He has said everything. Because in Nigeria, there are so many loopholes that are more than the physical scene. You understand? Are we going to talk about people that are selling the black marketers? We'll talk about we'll talk about those selling from the filling station, collecting 50 naira, 500 naira per gallon, depend on how big your gallon is. All those things have to be looked on, and which I think those are the things that will find it very, very difficult to use data analysis to really analyze this full crisis in Nigeria. So that's not my take. The physical one we see is lesser than the one that are eating. You understand? The eating one that me and you are not seeing is more than the ones we are seeing. So I think in that, to me, I don't think that analysis can solve the fuel crisis in Nigeria right now, because we don't have any account or database for that.
Okay, thank you so much. So Steven, let's take Steven.
All right, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. So in my own opinion, I feel we can still do something through data analysis or data analytics. So first of all, it will be that who is the main supplier, like who is the recognized supplier of fuel in Nigeria. So that would be NNPC. So just like similar to this trend we are looking for. So we'll try to know the numbers of gallons or barrels that NNPC is dishing out, monthly. So we check the trend. So if there is fuel in NNPC, so what is also responsible for this fuel scarcity? So if we can get from our data analysis that the NNPC is giving out fuel as like the numbers of barrels is recorded, so we'll be able to trace, okay, is it the numbers of barrels or numbers of tankers that is causing the fuel scarcity, or there's holding somewhere. So if we could get 4 of us trace that, okay, if NNPC release certain barrels, we'll be able to predict, okay, can these numbers of barrels or these numbers of liters still able to pushing the effect of this fuel scarcity. We'll get that from our predictive data. Then from there, we'll be able to also infer solutions to the fuel scarcity. So we'll be able to know, is it the numbers of barrels that is not enough, or is it that there's holding? So I feel we can still do something from data analytics, not regarding the status that we have.
Thank you so much. That's a very big contribution. Malaki will get it, like maybe the last person will say. Malaki.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak. So from my own point of view, I think data analytics is where there is problem. That is where they are needed to try and bring solutions to the problem. And a country like our country, Nigeria, is in serious problem, which answer from even the question, we should know that Nigeria needs a good analyst. But the problem we have will still boil down to the government and the people that are making the policies. I assume over the years they have data in their database that people that can actually work with, and then to curb this mess and the problem, we wouldn't have been having the issue of going down to the roadside seller, black market, filling station. So because the problem is actually coming from the leaders and those that are in charge to give us information to work with. Because now exactly we don't even know where our problem is. We don't know what is going on because there is no data, there is no information to work with. So I think if they should start giving us what we will actually hold our hand on as in data analyst, we'll be able to solve the issue with data analysis. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So please, we won't be able to take so many. The time is going. We have to check the other questions. We'll come back to the conversation later on. Let's just answer this last part first. So the thing there is just the first thing is before you can solve problem, like I said, we use data analytics to solve problem. Before you can solve problem, you have to have the data, the well-structured data that it is reliable, like maybe 80% reliable. For this Nigeria now, to get the number of data, the number of consumption, demand, and supply for this, I don't think we even have something that really documents all those progress. And we don't even, we have some fuel that they are stealing, that is not even documented for. You understand now? Some fuel that some people are just, what do they call that? That some people are just stealing the fuel, and from one place to the other, you find one fuel something, you want for something. So it's all boils down to the structure of the data set. If there's a proper data set, you can use data analytics to solve it. Even though there's some other loopholes there. But the problem is, where is the data? Do you have the data? Is there a database? Does Nigeria have a database? When someone was talking about sensors the other time, and I had someone that was looking at sensors in this thing, and some of the things I'm hearing about our data, it's God that can help us. I think one thing we need to do is we need to build our database as a country, because we don't have that structured database. And without a structured database, it is very, very hard to apply data analytics to solve problems within the country. So we are coming back to that. Please let's just answer this last question first. We're still coming back to that, everyone. Sorry. So the last part of this question said if our makeup contains information about the sales of makeup products for each transaction. So you are giving the following information: name of person, date of sales, product. Create a pivot table to compile the following information: the number of sales for each salesperson, the total revenue by product. So this type of question is an example of a descriptive analysis. You understand that you are just having the transaction, so you are describing them. You are describing data just to have some understanding of what's going on. So that's why I said this question contains diagnostic, descriptive, and predictive. So this is a question of an example of a descriptive analysis. So let's just go to the questions and solve because of our time and everything. So we have the makeup DB. Is it? So insert pivot table and that. So yeah, okay. So the first question, let me quickly go through it over it. They said the number of sales transactions for each person. What is the number of sales transactions? Not sales amount, now sales transaction for each person. So I'm going to drag the name of the person here. That's better and everything. So I have to check the number of times that each person did the transaction. This is the number of sales transactions done by each one of them. You understand? So you drag the count. How many times does this one do it? So Ashley has 187, Betty has 217, Cissy has 230, Colin has this. So total number of data is 1,891. That's the number of ways that we have there. And this is the sales transactions for each person. Now, to the second question, you said for each person, salesperson, the total revenue by product. So we wanted to get the total revenue by product for each person now. This is an example of descriptive analysis also. So I can copy this one since I don't want them to do this. I will copy this and place this. Now, sales transaction. Let me get the question again. For this person, total revenue by product. So I'm going to drag product to this part and revenue. I think the revenue is dollars. Okay, revenue is nowhere. Yeah, so this is it. This is the thing now. So I want to quickly look at something. I think I missed something. Transaction revenue. We have units, so we have this. Okay, I get that. So just a minute. I want to the transaction. So that's this one. So this is total revenue for each person for each product. You can see this revenue that each one of them make for each product. So that is one for mascara, for foundation, for everything. So it's kind of like descriptive. We wanted to know, okay, how much does Ashley make? How much does Sissy make? How much does Christina make? How much does Jen make? Stuff like that. So you can easily just do that. That's question number 2 for that one. So question number 3, we have using your answers to the previous question, create a function that always yield Jen's lipstick sales. Now, I think for this one, a lot of people use what's it called now? A lot of people use filter. So you try to like filter out for Jen's alone, Jen lipstick sales. So yeah, we can do that to filter to get data out for a particular person. So if I add this one now, if I come to this thing, can filter down based on that. That's one solution. That's one way you can solve that problem. So I'm going to drag in the name. Sorry, where did I drag this thing? I think I dragged it. Products. Products. Name of person. Okay. So yeah, I know what's happening. Now let me introduce another option to you here. There's something we call slicer. Slicer is just like kind of like a dynamic filter. I don't know whether anyone heard slicer before. You can use filter. So how do I enable the slicer option? So slicer is like a filter something. So to enable the slicer option, now you come to the pivot table field here. You click on insert slicer. You can see the insert slicer up. Yeah, you click on it, and it's asking you on what column you want to insert your slicer. By clicking on insert slicer. So I want to insert slicer based on the name of the person. So you click name and click OK. And you can see now these are like interactive something. So if I wanted to filter based on a particular person, for example, I want to filter Jen. I can just select Jen, and it's going to bring in the sales for Jen alone. So I can click on Aladdin and Emily and Christina, and stuff like that, and I click on it. So that is one way to filter out your data also. Understand? For this particular one. So a slicer is an interactive filter option to get that one out. And you can also put another natural filter and just filter for that particular person out. That is one solution to that. And for the last part now, is that total revenue generated by each person broken down by location. Total revenue generated by each person broken down by location. Do that one. You can do this. Let me delete this one first. For location, let me just copy this. No. Control this. It has to be somewhere. That's good. Okay. Yeah, I have it there. So based on location. So let's see, for example, now we want to see based on location. If I drag a location here, so I can see it, or I can drag it based on this name also. So you can see the what's it called now? Ashley and this. So depending on how you want your table to look like, you might put it on column, you might put it on row or anything like that. So this row and column actually determines the way you want your distance to look. So that is actually for that one. So the last part that we want to look at, total revenue by salesperson and total revenue by salesperson and year. So this one is actually quite straightforward. So for the year now, you can just copy the same. So let me copy this one because it's quite long. So the revenue for year now, for each salesperson for year. So I can put the year in the value here under the column. So drag in dates. So if I drag in date to the column, like I said earlier, it's going to break it down based on year, month, and this thing. You can see the default one is here. So this is the sales for each person of each year for 2024, 2025, 2026. So that is that particular one for this. And actually that wraps it up for our pivotable question for this data analysis thing. I think that wraps it up. So that is that. So briefly before we actually go into asking some questions, let me quickly show you something in pivotable that I didn't mention in the data analysis part. There's something we call data analysis tool pack. Now, this analysis tool pack is used for carrying out some advanced statistical analysis. When I talk about only for statistical analysis, when I'm talking about ANOVA analysis of variance, I'm talking about descriptive analysis, I'm talking about regression. I'm very, very sure we are all familiar with maybe some of us that probably know about regression. So when we are talking about advanced statistical analysis, we have a function in Excel that can do that, and it's known as the analysis tool pack. So I didn't actually mention that in our last class. So how do you do analysis tool pack? By default, it's not always enabled in your Excel worksheet. So you have to go to the add-ins and enable it. It's always enabled. For example, now if I come to the data tab for my own now, I have it enabled. It's the one I see data analysis here. You can see when you come to data tab to the extreme left right hand side, you see analysis, you see data analysis. If you check on your laptop, you might not find it there because you've not enabled it. It's actually disabled. It's an add-in. So if I click on it and see the type of analysis that you can do, moving average. Moving average is for trends and predicting patterns and for forecasting. That's moving average. Yeah. Have rank and percentile, we have regression, we have Fourier analysis, we have F-test, especially moving analysis. We can also use regression. We can use this analysis tool pack for that, and it's as we have t-test. Yeah, for those that do hypothesis testing, I'm very, very sure at some point we do hypothesis testing in school for people. Hypothesis testing is still very, very valid in analysis. But sometimes when you are testing, doing hypothesis testing, you have check between A and B, or go for A and B. So we do hypothesis testing for that. And two variable, two sample, sampling techniques, regression, rank and percentile, z-test, and every other thing. So we have it there. So for example, now let me just quickly use descriptive analysis, descriptive statistics. I'm still going to show us how this thing is enabled. So let's say, for example, now I have this data set here now. Let me use this one. Let me use this one. Okay, let me use this return now. Probably I want to describe this return column. Return column, just give me a kind of like descriptive analysis of these return columns, that is in terms of the mean return, the maximum return, the median, total number of counts, and every other thing like that. So I can use descriptive analysis to describe it. So I select the column. I come to data analysis here, and I can select, should I actually select the script statistics? If you select it, click OK. Now, it's asking me which one can happen to, sorry, let's put this thing again. Now, so column, you can see F and label in the first row. You have to check it. There's label in the first row. Now, output in your worksheet. So, what are the things you wanted to get out? Like summary statistics, stuff like that. That's what I want to get out and just give my result. So, it's going to give you a summary statistics of all this data that you have here. You can also give it based on confidence level for name, that is upper confidence level and lower confidence level. Those are just statistical something. So if I click OK now, put link. You're not serious. So let me do this thing. Okay. Okay. So let's go data analysis. Descriptive. Okay. And let me start from F to, I don't even know the one that ends it. It's telling me there is no. Let's do it again. So control. Yeah, I think that's all it. So I click OK now. So it's giving me summary statistics here. You can see the mean, give me the mean, the median, the mode is not giving like. So the mean, that's the mean return, the standard error of return. You know, when we talk about standard error, how each variable deviates from the mean, right? That's standard deviation also. Standard error, we have standard deviation, we have the sample variance, we have the skewness, we have the range, we have the minimum variance, we have the maximum, we have the sum, we have the count. So this is just some statistical gibberish. For those that are actually, maybe, I don't want to bring in statistical thing now, although it's something that you're going to learn later on. I'm very sure everybody's familiar with the measure of central tendency, like mean, median, mode, what the measure of standard deviation. Yeah, standard deviation is like it measures the deviation of a particular variable or all the variable from the mean value. That shows how whether your data is stable or not. So standard deviation is what shows that whether your data is stable or not. So that's that. We have sample variance, kurtosis, we have skewness. That is skewness. What really shows skewness is also outliers. If your data is skewed, that shows that it's outlier. And if your skewness is negative, that shows that the outlier is towards the lower side. If your skewness is positive, that shows the outlier is towards the higher side. So all those statistical something. So that's that. So let me now show you how to bring in this thing before we get. So how do you now do this analysis toolpack? Because I said it's not actually, you don't have it on your laptop by default. So to do that, you come to the file tab here. Click on the file tab. So from the file tab, you go to the options. File tab, you go to options. From options, you click on add-ins. You can see add-ins here. And from add-ins, you select Excel add-ins. Excel add-ins. So you have to select Excel add-ins. You have several add-ins here. You select Excel add-ins. Then click on go. When you click on go, it's going to bring out some of the tools. Like you see, we have the analysis toolpack VBA. We have the Euro currency tools, server add-ins, and everyone like that. So you're going to select the analytics toolpack. Just check the box. Check the box, and after checking the box, just click OK. Check the box and click OK. Analysis toolpack alone. And after doing that, when it comes to your data type, you should have this data analysis option here that you can use for the analysis. So actually, that will wrap up our questions and answer for this. So now let me just ask us, do we have questions? Everybody questions, contribution, and every other thing. This is the part now where we have questions and contribute and everything. Okay. I think I have Deborah Daffy on, like, he has been raising up his hands before. Can you come in? I have Deborah and I have Adebayo Sherry. Okay. Okay, if they are not actually, we have Mr. Casmer. Can you go ahead? Mr. Casmer, can you go ahead?
All right, thank you. I really appreciate your in-depth teaching in this class. My first question is on the goal seek.
Yes.
I'm seeing it as a kind of a predictive or forecasting analysis. I don't know if I'm right.
Yeah, just to forecast. Yes, yeah, what to expect. You have a goal. You're just trying to forecast what to do. Yeah, it's more of like forecasting thing. Yeah, you can put it that way.
All right, and then more so, I have much interest in forecasting or predictive analytic. So I know there are different ways. Like we have exponential smoothing, we have a focused linear function,
in average, yeah,
simple regression, and all that. We also have a different forecasting method. Like we have a naive approach, moving average, exponential smoothing, and all the rest of them. So I don't know if does this teaching or class does the curriculum cover all this? I don't know, especially in
No.
this forecasting aspects.
The thing is this, because of our time and the things that we have planned to cover, because we have Power BI and we have we have SQL too, and duration is low, so we might not really go into all those things. But although I can actually give you some, materials. There are some very, very good materials that can really guide you towards that aspect. You have some materials in Excel. I have one Excel textbook that you can really use for predictive analysis and any form of analysis. I would recommend that. I will share that with everyone. It's a very good textbook. That's very interesting. Yeah, you can use that as a guide for that.
That would be great.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Akintunde, sir.
All right, thank you very much. I mean, we can't thank you enough for everything. Both yourself, Toby, and the other members of, the team putting all of this together.
Thank you so much.
I just want to reiterate the appeal I made last week. Especially for those of us that have very busy weeks, it's extremely difficult keeping up with the assignments. It comes in on Monday and we have to submit before class on Saturday. Frankly, for me personally, the only time I realize that I actually have is maybe Saturday morning before the class, and it's not enough to do a good job. There's a lot to unpack, a lot to learn, and now practice the assignment. So yes, that same suggestion I made last week, to see if we could send it earlier than Monday, so that the preceding weekend we have that to start working on it. I know it's asking a lot, really, but if you could work that out, it would be appreciated.
So I actually got a lot of people also reaching out to me as regard that probably they have time and everything like that. So what we are going to look into is this. Probably the question we are going to be giving next, we are going to elongate the duration. And we're going to elongate duration. Okay, at least Power BI. So we can just give in the questions now and probably we elongate it to come together and answer the other week. Yeah, we do that. I will talk with my team and see how we can elongate it, because I have a lot of people also reaching out as together that because of their busy schedule and all things like that. So we're going to look into that and see how we can extend the duration whereby everybody can have time to solve the problem. We'll see what we can do, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
So any other questions before we call it a day? Any other Mr. Sheriff, you are reason. Okay, all right, sir.
Yeah. All right, thank you, sir. So thank you so much for the class. I really appreciate it. So I noticed that during the makeup, when you were trying to solve the makeup file, that Excel file for makeup question, I noticed that the cost, the unit sold, has negative values, and you kind of did not remove it or something. Because I was looking at the unit sold, the makeup file for the lipstick, blah blah blah.
Okay, makeup file. Okay. Let me get it. Thank you for pointing into that. Which part is that?
The main file. Because when I checked the unit sold, I was seeing negative, so I removed it, and then when
You need to do.
So I
Okay,
don't know if there's a reason why it was.
There will be this will be an error actually. It's because we didn't use units. That's why we don't really look into this. This will be an error. You can't sell negative thing unless they return it.
So I was like,
no.
they just added.
You can't sell this. Is either you sell or you don't sell. Unit so should be like 0 or something.
Like,
yeah. Yeah, that's I kind of like data cleaning something that you identify like that.
Yes.
Unit so this is gonna unless the thing is this, unless probably they provide something that is they explain, they give you some, when you're analyzing data too, when you're looking at data, you look it from your own perspective. Let's just like this one is the general thing, it's not supposed to be there, we remove it. But let's say, for example, now you're analyzing data for some set of people and they come to you, they might give you some reason why that one is negative when you ask them, because normally it's not supposed to be there. Do you understand that, boy? Yeah, it's not supposed to be there actually. So that's that. Thank you. I have Deborah Daffy. Okay, are you? She there? I don't think she's there. So Mr. Lawrence Davis, if I get that.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for the opportunity.
You're
Please,
welcome.
I have a humble plea to make. Please,
Okay.
the YouTube videos.
Yeah.
I don't know if there is any way which the quality can be upgraded, because I realize that the class videos are much more clearer than the YouTube videos. We that come back to the YouTube videos struggle to see the actual things we are doing there.
Okay.
So when it comes to formulas.
Okay. Give me the recording. Give me the recording or the real.
Yeah.
This one, the normal class session that we have, right? This one, right?
No, not the normal class. The YouTube videos you upload that we go to download for our private learning.
Okay. So we look into how to like upgrade the quality. Sorry about that. We look into it. So Toby and everybody, see that's a call. Let's see. So Toby, please. Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
This is Adape Deborah.
Okay. Yeah. You were using your hands. I had to like code like.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you for the team that are doing this great job. The question I want to ask is, are there like a, when most time you have some things you're written outline.
Yeah. Like outline.
Can we have access to it?
Outline, right? Cost outline.
Yes, cost outline. Sometimes you go to your screen and you are reading something. Can we have access to those things?
Yeah, we already shared the course outline. Probably we're going to share it again for your listening.
Okay, not only the course outline, you like today now you were talking about something.
Okay.
Descriptive.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah, we have a slide.
Yeah, the notes.
Okay. Yeah, we are going to share it.
Can we have the e-notes?
Yeah, we will send it.
Yes, for each.
Yeah, we send it.
Thank you so much.
We send it. Yeah.
I'm telling you guys are wonderful.
Thank you.
You deserve.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We are grateful.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much.
You're welcome. So, Sefina, did I get that right?
Yes, you're right. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. Yeah.
Yes, I didn't want to ask any question anyway, but I want to just point out something to the last man that talked about the YouTube videos.
Okay.
Yes, I just want to tell him that you can still adjust the quality of the video by just going to the settings. Then under the settings, you go to quality.
Okay.
Then from there to the advanced settings. Then from there you can adjust the quality of the videos.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. So that's one solution to the quality of video. Thank you so much, Mr. Lawrence.
Please, sorry for jumping in. In addition to that, you can also have the video offline.
Okay.
Yes, if you have it offline, the cost of downloading it, you can actually choose the highest quality, which is 750.
I didn't get that.
Yes, you can use save.net.
I didn't get that question. Please, can you drop it on the chat? I didn't get that. Skipping.
Okay. I will drop that in the.
Okay, thank you so much.
On how to download it offline.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. Good quality. Thank you so much. So, Abimbola Araoye. Sorry, but get that right. Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for today's lecture.
Thank you so much.
Bless you. Yes. Please, how soon are we going to have today's recordings?
That'll be on Monday. I don't know. It's on Monday. Because
Okay.
you said on Monday we're going to get it on Monday. So all the recordings that
Monday
we
at
have
what time? What time? The
on
time.
or before 3 p.m. Let's just do it that way. Because other things is in on or
It's
before
too
3 p.m.
long. Oh.
It's too long. Okay, we can
You know
do.
that once we resume back on Monday to the office to
Okay. Yeah. So we
revise, we
can.
need to revise, we need to practice.
Okay. So what about 12 p.m. 4?
4 p.m.
Can we?
When?
4.
Okay, 4 tomorrow. Hello, sir. Or Monday. Are you saying Monday or hello? Can't hear you again. Hello? Hello?
Hold on. No challenge.
Hello? I don't have challenges. Listen. Hello?
Please just hold on. I
Hello,
think he's
sir.
having a bit of a network issue. Let's just hold on for
Okay.
him to come back.
Sorry, what's
Okay.
the issue? I mean, brother.
Yes, sir. You said that we'll get it 3 p.m. on Monday. You are not saying
Yeah,
you want to change it to 4 p.m. I say, is it 4 p.m. tomorrow or still Monday?
still Monday, still Monday.
Still Monday. Okay, okay, no problem. All right, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry, Deborah, do you have a question? Hello? Okay. So I think with this, we can say we're done with the call now. Thanks, guys, for today. See you next week, and you get the next week section on Monday. So, all right. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Toby. Hi, Precious. Hello, Toby.
Yeah, hey,
Precious.
bro.
I
I
sorry,
had
man.
to start removing them from the meeting. These guys, they really know. I don't say good, they see the state.
My hands are just went off like that. My this
No,
thing.
wala.
Yeah. How
I
you
think
doing now?
I'm good, oh, bro. I said they should go. They see what
I mean, I
in one video they show yourself the
why not the quality of video. Say that me want to quality. Jai. Why don't they? I don't get studio fast. Well,
Hi, Toby. Hi, Ima.
high
I,
pressures.
I think today is much more interactive though. Like
Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
like
it was.
yeah. So
The
that's
Miriam is not here to caution them.
it's not yet. I don't even know where that guy is. I'm going to call her now. If you like, come to this on Monday. We get you. Then thank you guys for joining today. I'm not sure. I just look at my back because I'm not at home. You see now, I'm not at home, and I went somewhere. So I just like I don't have no place to charge, and I have like my battery on my system is not that like much. I was like, should we go have this meeting today like this? I just have to enter one place and just like
Just
guys
rotate
do
it.
yeah around the whole thing and everything. So it's not I'm not at home and everything. I have to rush it. It's fine though. Yeah, you're precious. What's up?
I'm fine.
I'm just waking up.
I'm here. I'm not waking up. I'm not sleeping. I'm here.
Yeah, okay. All right. Toby, please, we are still going to like I want to like talk to you about something. Damola, please. I would like you to probably maybe you are going to like let me know Damola. I want to learn this my data, this thing very, very, very well. I think I'm serious
Data
back now.
engineering.
Data engineering. And I think Damola is the guru in that place.
Adamola is a guru now, sir. In
The guru.
school.
So
So
when I'll let you know when I listen, just let me know. I need someone to help me to as my mentor.
no
So it's to
wahala.
be all right, man.
Instead of it to call, let me mentor you now. Or like you're looking for somebody.
Okay. Problem. You mentor me. All right, man. Thanks a lot. Like I really
Yeah,
appreciate your
no
listening.
wahala. It's well done, oh, bro.
All right.
Well done, Ola. Bye bye.
Bye, man.